What's going on, everybody? And in this video, we are going to talk about the 3 common mistakes people make when trying to sell their high-ticket offers. And if you stay until the end, I'm going to reveal one more thing you should really try and avoid in order to reduce your own headache in your business. Okay, so without further ado, let's get this party started. I'm going to share my screen, and while I'm doing that, I would like to invite you for our high ticket coach challenge, which is going to happen in a few weeks' time. So if you're interested in learning how to create, market, or sell a high ticket offer, just click the link below and register now. Okay, awesome. So I like to share my scripts with you, or the notes which I'm taking to prepare my videos, so that you can read at the same time as listening, because that occupies more of your brain space, and the learning experience you have while watching this video is a lot greater and much more effective, because your brain stores information in different parts and you will remember better what you're learning here today. So it's all about that anyway, right? Cool. So the 3 most common mistakes people make when trying to sell their high-ticket courses, high-ticket offers, service packages, you name it. Okay, so when they're either getting started or when they're transitioning from selling low-ticket all their life and then they're moving into high-ticket, there is very common mistakes, and these are the top 3. Okay, so number 1, many people do not upgrade their own message. They do not up-level themselves. What do I mean by that? Okay, the way you talk, the way you present yourself online. Okay, if you get into high ticket, that needs to change. If you have always been selling low ticket, $47 digital products, $997 courses, things like that. Okay, the way you position yourself needs to change, and the way you communicate with the audience out there is very, very different compared to the way you communicated with the other audience when you were selling low ticket courses before, low ticket products before. Okay, so the language you're choosing is very, very different. People who, for example, people who buy low ticket offers really respond to copy like get instant access, download now, immediately watch all of the tutorials, get these 10,000 cheat sheets included in the course, things like that, right? Versus high ticket language is very, very different. So people do not put value on the amount of things that are included in a program, which actually should never be really the focus. Like, you should always make your course or coaching program, high ticket offer, whatever it is, as efficient as possible. So that is actually a very common myth, that people think, oh, the more stuff is in the course, the more stuff is in the coaching package, the more valuable it is. This is actually exactly the opposite, right? It's really, really hard as the coach to constantly refine your products and offers, which you really should be doing, and remove parts of the programs which really don't matter, because it just takes up the students' space, brain space, time, and doesn't get them anywhere. So high ticket people know that. They buy because of convenience and speed, and they just want to get to the end result as fast as possible, versus low ticket buyers really think like, oh, I want to get as much as possible out of the thing. How many, the more video lessons, the better. Okay, so it's a very different kind of target audience you're talking to. So your messaging needs to change. The language you choose needs to be very, very different, right? The audience you're attracting is very different when you speak differently, and it repels also the wrong audience, right? So typically high ticket buyers, sometimes they may be buying low ticket programs as well, but the vice versa is not really the case. Like, some low ticket buyers will always stay low ticket buyers and never get into the high ticket space, versus some others need a little bit of nurturing. They need baby steps if they enter your low ticket mastermind course, coaching program, whatever you want to call it. And then they get to know, like, and trust you. And they're actually serious, like really actually serious about building their business or whatever it is that you're teaching, right? A small percentage of those could also upgrade into the high ticket space then. Okay. But if you market high ticket from the start, the language needs to be changed if you have been marketing low ticket from the beginning. Okay, so think about, what is your branding like? Okay, does it align with the messaging as well? What does your branding reflect? For example, my branding is basically my life, because my whole point around my entire messaging is I am selling independence and location independent lifestyle, being independent from any type of government, from any kind of like parents or spouses, and then also location independent. Independence is the overall message, which is so close to my heart, which is one of my core values, also the core value of my company. And that is the thing which I'm basically selling to my students, right? So, and that comes throughout all my marketing, right? And that is very, very authentic, because look at me, I'm in Bali, I'm living in Bali, I'm wearing tank tops, I'm not sitting in like an office, I don't know, in like a, in the Shard in London or whatever. It's just, you can see me today in Bali, you will see me next week, maybe in Paris, things like that. I travel a lot, I pull up my laptop a lot, work from wherever, and that's kind of the lifestyle I'm selling. So does your branding reflect your lifestyle as well? Okay, so how does so many people from my village, for example, they think like, how does she afford traveling all the time? And some of them don't know that I'm working, they don't speak English, they don't see, they just follow me on Facebook or whatever, and they just like it makes a knot in their mind, and they just can't follow up. So all they think is like, I travel all my life, I've been doing this for 15 years, and all they think is like, I'm traveling, right? But the right audience, people who value traveling, people who are interested in business, who speak English, who want to build an online business, want to become location independent, value traveling, growth, independence, not needing to rely on the government, not needing to rely on parents, not needing to rely on spouses, things like that. It comes throughout in my marketing everywhere. Okay. So look at yourself, like, how are you marketing your services? Upgrade your message, right? Does your branding reflect what you're selling? Very, very, very important. Okay. So, what else do we have here? Oh yeah, okay, cool. So for others, okay, there's obviously other people in the space who are also selling high ticket like I do, but their branding is completely different because they're talking to a different type of audience as well. For men, for example, I target men and women. I have got female and male clients. I like to work with both. Some other people really target only men, for example. So you will see in their messaging, in their marketing materials, you will see a lot of watches, a lot of cars, a lot of yachts, things like that, because their audience values a different thing. Like it's status, it's like things, collecting things, and it's like wealth, right? These kind of items represent wealth, okay? Versus the audience I am attracting or I am speaking to, they value experiences more than things. Okay, so for me, it's more like growth, independence, going to this country, learning about this culture, talking to these kind of local people. And most of my clients are like that too. Like if you look into my mastermind, people are like that. People have been traveling all over, or they really go traveling all the time. They have a base, things like that. It's less people, but they don't care about, oh, here's my latest car. Even though cars are nice, watches are nice, all that kind of stuff. I don't care about that kind of stuff, okay? Which does not mean I don't spend any money, for example, right? I love to hang out in luxury hotels and have that kind of experience, things like that. So the whole point about this is, what's your messaging like, okay? So upgrade your message and level yourself up. You need to become that person too, okay? Which leads me to point number 2, common mistake number 2 is identify the disconnect and address it honestly. Like some people don't do it or don't see it themselves. Okay. So if you want to sell high ticket offers and if you want to attract premium clients, guys, I can tell you, you must act accordingly yourself. Okay. So many people out there go and try to run their business as cheap as possible, but then expect the unimaginable in return. Okay. They expect magical wonders to happen, but not looking to invest anything in their business or just as cheap as possible. Right. So not wanting to spend any money on a business coach, for example, themselves is a huge red flag. Okay. So not wanting to invest into their team or marketing campaigns, things like that. It doesn't work like that. Okay. People who are acting this way will not be able to attract high ticket clients themselves, nor even serve them as their mindset is going into the completely different direction, right? You can't ask someone to pay you premium pricing if you have not paid premium pricing yourself. It's as simple as that, right? So the disconnect there, you just need to identify it and really honestly address it with yourself. So it will come across, the disconnect will come across in all your marketing, right? And on the flip side, if there is no disconnect, if you have taken a leap, right, you will see it also in your marketing, in your presentations, in your client delivery as well. It just reflects throughout the whole thing, like throughout your whole business. Every single part of it will be affected by your actions there. Okay. So cutting costs, investing in the cheapest options possible is not going to work. What's the conclusion of that? Okay. If you expect people to invest premium in you, you need to invest premium in yourself. This is how you take the leap. This is how you make the switch. If you've been selling low ticket, you have kind of like probably the low ticket mindset yourself, because you have been speaking like your audience, you have been marketing to that audience, you're kind of like trained up your brain in this low ticket kind of space, right? If you want to take that switch, if you want to move into the high ticket space, that's how you take the leap. You become a high ticket client yourself. It's not going to work any other way. Okay. So your confidence changes. The way you show up in your business changes. The way your audience will perceive you changes too. It's like a magical thing. It's not really a magical thing. It's actually kind of logical, right? So once you have the skills you need to learn, for example, like marketing, sales, epic delivery for your program, then hitting 6 figures plus organically, the thing I teach, becomes really, really simple. Okay. That's it. That's point number 2. So that's how you take the leap. Okay. If you want to sell premium pricing, premium packages, you must become a premium client yourself first. That's it. As simple as that. Let's move on to number 3. Okay. What got you here won't get you there. But we have been working so hard. We have been implementing all these strategies which got us here, and we're really good at that. And now you come and you tell us we need to stop doing that and start doing something completely different, learning new skills in order to level up. That's exactly what I'm telling you. Okay. So if you have been launching your course, for example, or your courses, your high ticket offers, that's great. Maybe you even had like a 5-figure launch. That's like one of our low ticket offers. For example, we teach people how to have 5-figure launches organically online. There's like a specific formula you can follow in order to hit those numbers. So that's very different to, there's many people who claim, I have 5-figure launches, 6-figure launches, things like that. We actually have an entire financial formula, all the numbers, all the framework we give our students. They know exactly what they need to do in order to hit these numbers. So there's no way around that. That is not going to work if they follow the whole thing, the whole roadmap, actually the way they're supposed to do it. Okay. So let's say now, great, you had a 5-figure launch or any kind of launch, it doesn't matter, right? You've validated your product. Yay, people buy it. Nice. If they vote with their credit cards, that's like the best validation you can get, right? Maybe even you've started off with a few one-on-one clients, which is also awesome. Right now you're filling up that calendar. But what got you to this point won't get you to the next point. Okay, that's the whole point. Number 3. Okay, so every time you level up, every time you want to grow your business, you need to become a better person yourself also, but also you need to stop doing certain things that got you here, as they won't get you there. Okay, they won't get you to the next stage. Maybe you need to even start doing scary things. And as we all know, being in our comfort zone is nice and amazing. And as an entrepreneur, everything is uncomfortable all the time, and you do stuff all the time which is new, and your mind gets stretched and all the time new stuff. You need to keep pushing and doing that. Like if you want to go from 5 to 6 figures, for example, there's different things you need to do. If you want to go from 6 to 7 figures, different things you need to do, right? So I'll give you 2 examples. For example, you can't keep coaching 101 and expecting big changes to happen as you max out your calendar so quickly, right? There's only so many hours in your calendar which you can do before you burn out, or not being able to have really good energy in your coaching course, not being able to deliver good quality coaching course, things like that. So there is a limit to one-on-one coaching, right? So if you're looking to scale, for example, serve more people on a much broader scale, it's time for you to think about group coaching, for example. And group coaching can have so many benefits to it too. I love and do both. I am a student of 101. I have more than one mentor. And I also have, I'm a part of a really amazing mastermind group coaching. Okay. Also, I do both. Sometimes I do one-on-one, and I also have group coaching. Like I have students in groups. So there's many benefits to both. Okay. But if you really want to scale fully, you need to stop doing the one-on-one stuff and just focus on group coaching. For example, this would be one switch to take, like back to the point, what got you here will not get you there. Okay. Another example, constantly launching versus getting cash consistently. Like launching is a really great strategy. Like, and I love it because it works so well. It's like a huge cash injection you'll get after each launch, right? Not after each launch. Sometimes launches can also fail. Let me tell you that too. But typically, if you know what are you doing, you've got product market fit. If you have great clients, results, things like that, right? Your launch is just going to work. But you can't do it forever, only launching. Like only relying on launches will eventually burn you out because it's always like a life thing, right? You always need to hustle. Versus it's one skill, right? Like you're gonna be really good at launching, yeah, but you always have this quick cash injection. There's no consistency. So if you want to grow, there needs to be more consistency in the game. So that's another example. So what got you there to 5-figure launches will not, or 6-figure years will not get you to 7-figure years, for example, right? So hope that's clear. Now, here's the bonus tip. The bonus tip, which is so close to my heart because I had such great lessons with that too, because I didn't know any better. Taking on the wrong clients. Peeps. I can't tell you how important this is to really pay attention to this one, especially at the beginning when you're starting out. You're like, oh yeah, clients, right? Don't take on everybody just because it's a client and just because they pay you a lot of money. I know it can be tempting, having 10 grand, 8 grand, 5, 3 grand, however much you're going to sell your programs for, or don't have it, right? But I'm going to tell you a few really damn good reasons why you should really pay close attention to that and try to identify who's a good fit for your program and who isn't. Okay. So taking on the wrong clients can be very damaging to you as a business owner, but also to the energy of your group. Okay. So you must keep a healthy vibe in your group. If you have someone in there who's complaining all the time, who's not taking personal responsibility, who's always looking to blame other people, to blame the coach, to blame other people in the program, to blame times, to blame whatever else there is to blame but themselves, huge red flag. You need to think about it. Turn off warnings kind of like work or not. If the person is already in your group, yeah, probably would be appropriate to give a warning, but you can tell the personality after they're in the group for a while and do it over and over again. Just get rid of them. Okay. It can take down the vibe and the dynamic of the group dramatically, very, very quickly. And that is really not good because you really want to keep your students motivated. And it's the hardest thing to, if you have someone in there who's dragging other people down, but you're kind of like pushing back and you're like wasting time and you're spending focus and energy on the wrong thing, which is not why you want to run your business. Okay. You do not want to have negative people in your group. Okay. How do you identify those people? Well, for example, if they're just looking for community or connection, that's a red flag. But here's what I mean by that. Let me dive a little bit deeper on that. If they don't have a business and they're not looking to do the work, if they're just looking for community and connection, they do not have a business and they're not looking to do the work. Okay. There are exceptions. I'm not talking like the business clubs, for example, where you become part of the club because you make the connections. But that's very different. I'm part of those business clubs too. But because I already have a business, I have already running business products, things like that. So it's not that I'm coming in there to, hang out and, spend some time because I don't know what to do with my life. So also these kind of business clubs have usually like requirements where you have to have like a minimum amount of income in order to join and things like that. So there's a difference, just to be very clear on that. Okay. So yes, while community is very vital to have in a coaching environment, right? as it lifts people up. It's great to have to join the calls and there's other people on the same journey as you. This person asks a question and you give the answer as a coach, or you help them find the answer as a coach. I consult a little bit more. I do a little bit of both, actually. And so it's really helpful for the students, right, to see other students do the work, to ask the questions, because maybe they had a question too and things like that, right? So maybe they were afraid to ask the question or didn't even know they had the question. They learned something else about it, right? So it lifts people up and it makes them feel part of something. And it's easier to get to the end result if you have other people around you to do who are doing the same thing, who are passionate about the same thing what you're doing, if that makes sense. Okay. So yeah, but if that person is exclusively only looking for company, then that is a red flag. Okay. So that person probably needs a boyfriend or a girlfriend or maybe even a therapist. Okay. So make it clear that your coaching program, your consultancy is not that kind of space, and that you need people who are not just interested in the community part, but also about implementing the strategies you teach, and they're eager to get those results, okay? Because it can also drain down your energy and you start to not enjoy the coaching calls anymore. If you're, oh my God, this client is going to come on and complain all the time and things like that, right? So if you don't do this, it can fully drain your energy, not make you enjoy your job. And after all, you're looking to build this business because you enjoy it, right? So we are building a business around our lifestyle, not our lifestyle around the business. That's the whole point. It's 2022, I think. And, the rest is history. So, yeah. So even if it means you're going to lose 10K, okay, in my opinion, it's not worth it to just do it for the money. Many people will argue with me about that, especially if you're just starting out. Okay. I have rejected people because of that reason. I have not extended people's contracts or even kicked people out of the group, while others would think, hey, you just lost 8K. And I'm just thinking, I need my peace. For me, there's nothing more important than my peace, except for my Fipsy dog. Of course, if you haven't met her, come here. I'm going to show you real quick. She's just chilling out over there. Ipsy. It's my little Bali dog, which I adopted over there. So she's just looking at me. What the heck is mom doing over there? But anyway, back to the point. So many people would argue with me, hey, you just lost 8K. And I'm thinking, I just saved my peace. Okay. I want to go to bed at night and think I'm happy versus I don't want to think about my client and be like already annoyed for the call tomorrow and it didn't even happen yet. Do you know what I mean? So in the end, it's really up to you. Yeah. So I think you must protect your energy as the coach and for your students as well. Because they also deserve you to show up with a good energy and to be focused and to on their things, to solve their problems, things like that. Okay. So what do you do about that? I would recommend you have an ideal client checklist. Okay. Put down things which your ideal client has to have and put down red flags. Write it down, literally write it down and say like, hey, if this person does have this, says this, or is like this, then they're not a good fit. Okay. So that's also what we teach in our programs, solar programs. It's part of sales. So if we do qualify calls, things like that, that's kind of like where we gather, hey, where we sense, get the people on the call and think, is it a good fit? Is it not a good fit? Things like that. All right. So I hope you enjoyed this video. One more time, if you want to join the High Ticket Coach Challenge, click the link below and I will see you on the other side. And if you like this video, you know what to do. Peace out.